Following on the last topic, let's take a closer look at some of the mobile device scenarios that Windows 10 supports. This is a high-level overview, and we'll take a closer look at identity issues in a separate course. The Windows 10 editions for portable systems are Mobile and Mobile Enterprise, the latter requiring a volume license agreement. The mobile editions are best suited for smartphones and smaller tablets, and they don't run desktop applications, just the universal ones, /modern/metro/Windows Store apps. So there's a Denver Globomantics employee named Jill, who has a personal device that she may occasionally need to use at work. She could add an Azure AD account, which Microsoft somewhat confusingly refers to in the OS as a work or school account, and thereby gain access to the Windows Store for Business, as well as single sign-on to Office 365. Jill can often add such an account from within an application. Now, if Jill needs access to some on-premises applications or files from her personal tablet, she could also perform a device registration, which Microsoft used to call Workplace Join in Windows 8. Why Microsoft finds the need to constantly rename features from one version of Windows to the next is a mystery to me, but my suspicion is they've got a whole department devoted to renaming stuff that doesn't need to be renamed. Registering Jill's device gets her a certificate that permits her to access certain internal sites and apps, and her registered device will actually show up in Active Directory even though it's not technically joined to the domain as such. Now, Work Folders is a different capability that gives Jill access to a personal file share on the corporate network, which syncs up to her device. It's a little bit like the old offline files feature. Henry in the Toronto office has the reverse situation. He's got a Globomantics tablet that he wants to use for personal activities from time to time. So Henry can add his personal Microsoft account to the tablet that may already be joined to Active Directory or Azure Active Directory. This gets him access to the consumer Windows Store and gets him single sign-on to his personal apps. Now, the roaming of various operating system settings, tiles, and notifications across devices was available to Windows 8 users who used Microsoft accounts, and Windows 10 offers that too, but with a twist. Such settings syncing can happen via Azure AD now. At such time, Globomantics decides to sync up its on-premises Active Directory with the cloud-based Azure AD. Well, let's see how we might go about adding an extra account in some of these scenarios. So bouncing over to Settings, and then Accounts, I can scroll down and see other accounts you use. This particular system is already joined to the Globomantics domain, but I can add a Microsoft account here. And I can even create one if I don't already have one. Or I can also add an Office 365 or Azure account here, remembering that the phrase work or school account is code for Azure. Now, if I click Work Access on the account setting page, I have the option to join or leave a domain, join or leave Azure AD. These prompts aren't terribly intelligent. They don't know, for example, that I'm already a member of a domain and that I'm not yet joined to Azure AD. And I can also apply or remove a provisioning package, which we'll explore later in this course.